too general to ask. A lot of them just take it as a day off. In terms of like celebrating it, I would have to say I don't think there's a huge aspect of that.
How was Thanksgiving observed?
As Tuscarora people, as Haudenosaunee people, we have our own ways of giving thanks, and it's much more consistent than just one day a year.
Every year on the fourth Thursday of November, families across the country gather around tables of food to celebrate what they're thankful for. It's known as Thanksgiving. But while many of us see it as a day of gratitude, Native Americans take it as a day of mourning.
You know, Thanksgiving, it's complicated because it's a reminder of this extremely violent history that had occurred.
In 1620, Europeans came into the New World and landed in what's known as modern-day Plymouth, Massachusetts. The Europeans were trying to break away from the British but were ill-equipped to survive. So the indigenous formed an alliance between the two groups and showed the pilgrims how to grow crops. Eventually, the two groups had a celebratory feast, recording it as the first Thanksgiving. This all happened to indigenous in the Wampanoag Nation. Brendan Ferguson is in the Tuscarora Nation.
No one's going to give it back to us. We have to take it back ourselves.
Nobody talks about these things this way.
Joanne Rickard-Weinholtz is also with Tuscarora Nation and is a cultural teacher.
As Christian people, while they're killing these indigenous people.
Over time, Native Americans' communities started to vanish. They were killed off by disease, famine, and displacement.
When I look at something like Thanksgiving, I can take the best from it. Because as a human, you're lucky if you have peace in your life. Tuscarora, we have a phrase when we greet each other. We say, "Twant is gonna have. Still are you at peace?" And I think that says everything about us as people, because that's the one phrase that despite everything endured and came out.